Good morning. Welcome to Sunday morning's meditation here at Kunzang Peo Choling. We do this practice together every Saturday and Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern. So anyone visiting us in the room or online, welcome. We'll begin with opening prayer. So we're going to do the 7-line prayer 3 times together. Ngorgen yugi nu chamsam pemage sarumbula yasan shogi no drumne pemajune shisudra koru kandrom mampokor keki jesu dag drupki jinjilop shir sheksu sol Guru Bema Siddhi Hum Organ Yogi Nucham Sam Pemange Sarampula Yasan Chogi Nudrumne Pemajune Shisudrag Koru Kandrom Mampokor Keki Jesu dag drupki Jinjilop shir sheksu sol Guru Pema Siddhi Hum Organ Yogi Nucham Sam Pemage Sarampula Yasan Chogi Nudrumne Pemajune Shisudrag Koru Kandrom Mampokor Keki Jesu dag drupki Jinjilop shir sheksu sol Guru Bema Siddhi Hum. So let's take a moment to remember our motivation for being here today and generate compassion together. So our compassionate intention for doing this meditation is very important to start with that. And whenever we begin any activity, we want to begin by generating compassion for all beings and establishing our pure motivation. This is especially true when we sit down to do meditation or hear a Dharma teaching or read a Dharma book. So the direction of our actions is determined by our motivation. So that's why we need to begin by developing our proper motivation. So let's take a minute together to that compassion in our mind, and that wish that whatever merit or virtue or benefit we create by doing this meditation together, that we offer that immeasurable benefit to all sentient beings. So let's take a minute now to do that. So the meditation we'll be doing today is called Shamatha meditation, and we'll be referencing Jetsama's book, Stabilizing the Mind. So we'll be using that text. So first, and some of you have been here before, so you might know a little bit about what meditation is. And maybe some people online, maybe this is your first time, or you're an avid meditator. But what is meditation? Meditation is the natural state of our mind when it's relaxed, stable, and open. So meditating trains our mind to be more calm and relaxed, and yet also alert and wakeful. So the whole point of meditation is to create more spaciousness in our mind, which is very important. And we can see how our modern day life is and can be busy and filled with many distractions. So it's really important to find moments where we can actually give our mind rest. So finding time to do meditation and making it a consistent practice is really the key to having more spaciousness in our mind and helping us with our life and how we respond and react to everything that happens in our life. And it helps us balance our emotions and creates a little bit of that pause before we react. So if we have spaciousness and stability in our mind, we can navigate life in a much more constructive and peaceful, calm, relaxed way. So meditation, is also that stability and that spaciousness in our mind is also the first step in developing bodhicitta, which is the compassionate wish to free all beings from suffering. So if we think, if our mind is busy all the time or we're thinking of ourselves all the time, there's not much time to think about other beings, and there's not much time to, maybe be considerate of other beings or be peaceful or calm in our reactions to our everyday life and how we treat other people. So we want to take a comfortable seat, and you can either choose to be on the floor, cross-legged, or if a chair is more comfortable for you, that's totally fine. And then we're going to rest our hands either in our lap like this, right over left, relax in our lap, or if you're in a chair and it's more comfortable to be, having our hands on our thighs like this, that's fine too. So we just want to make sure that our spine's straight. So that's the main, that's really the main objective is having a straight spine. So if we are in the chair, to also have a straight spine as well and not be hunched over. So our elbows are going to be back, our shoulders are back, and then we're just keeping our eyes open and gazing gently at the floor, almost like if we drew a line from the bridge of our nose down to the floor, that line, picking a point on that line to rest our gaze, and allowing ourselves to breathe naturally. And we'll put the tip of our tongue also on the back of our front teeth. So the mouth is actually a little bit open and relaxed. And really we're trying in this position to breathe as naturally as possible. So we might find sometimes when we sit down to meditation for the first time that it's very rigid. We're trying to keep the right position and our shoulders are back and our spine's really straight, and maybe we're breathing heavily. But it's really about, just like we're trying to relax our mind and create stability more in our mind and just breathe, we're also trying to sink, our body into that same relaxing space, that calm way to hold the body. So we're relaxing into that. And again, our eyes are open, staring gently at the ground, finding a place, from, again, our bridge of our nose going down, finding a point to rest our gaze, and then breathing naturally. So our attention, where does our mind rest in that space? Our attention is actually resting with the breath. So our attention is like a feather gently riding the surface of our breath. And when thoughts come up, we're just going to let that thought rise like a bubble rising to the surface of a pond, and just let it pop, let it go. We don't have to look at that thought. Is that a good thought? Is that a bad thought? Oh no, I'm having so many thoughts. Oh no, this was a good meditation, but now I'm having thoughts. So whatever that is, wherever we judge all of our thoughts, our attention isn't lost by having the thought. It's really by going down the road and inspecting it or judging ourselves for what kind of meditation we think we're having. So really the point is to drop the thought again and again, return to the breath. So we're gently putting a gentle attention on our breath. And if it's really hard to dismiss our thoughts, which sometimes it is, some days our minds are racing even more so than other days. So if we find that really difficult, we can use visualization to help us. So we can imagine picking up our thoughts and throwing them away, or actually cutting our thoughts and tossing them out. So whatever techniques you find to be helpful for that. Again, the point is to return to our breath and return to our single-pointed meditation, our focus there on the breath. So let's start. We're going to start with 5 minutes together, and then we'll do a longer session after that. So I have my timer here. All right, 5 minutes. All right. So maybe in that time you noticed a lot of thoughts coming up, or maybe any body sensations. And even with that, like, for example, just now I noticed how dry my eyes were. And it's funny how if we focus on something in our body, that it can become a lot of thoughts. So even when we notice sensations in our body, like, oh, this feels tight, or maybe your eyes or your stomach or something, something's bothering you. Again, returning to that breath will actually help kind of loosen our grip around thinking about that and just returning to the breath. So instead of focusing on my eyes, I'm blinking so much, just again, returning to the breath, and then all of that sensations in the bodies tend to relax. So let's try again. And I'm just going to actually we'll do 3 sessions. I like to switch it up each time. So let's try a little bit longer this time. So we'll do 7 minutes together. And again, just sinking into our body as much as we can, focusing on our breath, that gossamer thin attention on our breath, like a feather riding the surface of our breath. So if thoughts come up, we put them aside, we let them go. Just like we're breathing in air and we're breathing out, we're inhaling, we're exhaling. If the thoughts come up, we can let them out. Just like they come in, we can let the thought leave. So again, returning to the breath again and again. So let's do 7 minutes together. And just, on your own time, you can really pick any increments of time that you want. If you want to start with 30 seconds, that's great. If you want to start with a minute, and then keep building over time. So however you want to integrate this throughout your week. And here we go. Let's do this. Let's do one more session together. And this is wonderful to sit in this setting all together and practice meditation together here in person and online. But you can do this throughout the week as well. So, taking what you learn here today, or what maybe you are a regular meditator, but having that experiences of meditation throughout your week doesn't have to always look like we're sitting down on a cushion. It can be having that that state of mind as we move out into the world, as we're, waiting in line, as we're, sitting in the car, or, walking, doing walking meditation. So trying to weave this into our lives as much as possible really creates the habit and that restful, calm state of mind the more we practice this. So it's really, it's not about having the perfect meditation. It's about being consistent with our meditation, because then, our mind naturally, thoughts arise all the time. So we're not demonizing the thoughts, but we're doing our best to let them go and to return to the breath again and again. So the more we can practice this through our daily life, in all experiences that we have out in the world, the better we get at this, the better we can respond to the craziness of our lives with a more relaxed and stable mind. So, and spaciousness, because that's what we need. It's hard to come by these days. So let's do another. Let's see the time. Yeah. Okay. So we'll do one more. We'll do 10 minutes together. All right. So, we actually, this month, every February, this is our third February, we've done a meditation challenge online on our social media. So we actually have a lot of really great resources there posted this month. You'll find meditation videos, you'll find videos that teach other forms of meditation as well. And we also have a YouTube channel that has a lot of meditation resources. So if you follow us on our Kunzang Peyol Choling online or at tara.org, you can find all the links there at our website. So, and we just recently had the start of the Lunar New Year, which was kind of the launch of all these meditation, the meditation challenge in general. And I said this last time too, if you fell off of your January resolutions, you have another chance in February to do your meditation challenge. So, and again, we do this meditation every Saturday and Sunday at 10 a.m. So please come join us here or online as well. So we'll do some closing prayers. Do you all have the sheet? Do you guys have it? Can you pass one to them? Yeah. So we have some dedication prayers on the back. So we'll end with this. It's a way to, seal in the virtue and merit of what we generated here together as a group, meditating together. So we then dedicate that benefit to all sentient beings. So we'll say these three prayers together. Throughout my many lives and until this moment, whatever virtue I've accomplished, including the merit generated by this practice, and all that I'll ever attain, this I offer for the welfare of sentient beings. May sickness, war, famine, and suffering be decreased for every being, while their wisdom and compassion increase in this and every life. May I clearly perceive all experiences to be as insubstantial as the dream fabric of the night, and instantly awaken to perceive the pure wisdom display in the arising of every phenomenon. May I quickly attain enlightenment in order to work ceaselessly for the liberation of all sentient beings. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas altogether, whatever kind of motivation you have, whatever kind of beneficial action, whatever kind of wishing prayers, whatever kind of omniscience, whatever kind of life accomplishment, whatever kind of benevolent power, and whatever kind of immense wisdom you have, similarly I, who have come in the same way to benefit beings, pray to attain these qualities. By this effort, may all sentient beings be free of suffering. May their minds be filled with the nectar of virtue. In this way, may all causes resulting in suffering be extinguished, and only the light of compassion shine throughout all realms. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you. And I'll leave you with one thing. Last night, we had an incredible teaching by our new Kempo Karze, who's here in residence now. And he said a great thing about practicing the Dharma. So he said, you don't have to pick and choose the times that you practice the Dharma. You can do it, it's like, you can do it anytime. I took that as you don't have to compartmentalize it. You can put it into your everyday life in all moments. So just like that, meditation can be a part of your life and be woven throughout your day with no separation of I'm meditating now, I'm doing this now. So just having that mindfulness and that, taking that time to create more spaciousness in our mind throughout the day. So thank you all for coming.